My name is Gulbransen, and I am doing the social innovation presentation on social business, Better World Books. Better World Books is a for-profit social enterprise that collects and sells books online to fund literacy initiatives worldwide. Better World Books addresses the social issue of literacy and sustainability.
What is the value of a book? A book can inspire a career. It can transcend boundaries. It can help start a movement. And yet every year, over 1 million books end up in landfills. While hundreds of millions of people who want books don't have it. Like most college students, we don't necessarily change the world, but still make use of it. We find a way to do both by getting the most value out of every book. As Notre Dame undergraduates, Xavier Hawkinson and Christopher Fuchs dreamed up Better World Books, a for-profit social enterprise that collects used books and sells them online. Founded in 2007, C1 is a well-known social venture icon. The company has converted over 4,000 books into multi-million-dollar funding for education and literacy programs worldwide. America's business plans shortly after making Notre Dame's first final membership access.
So the social issues that Better World Books address are literacy and education. They do this through book for book. For every book purchased from Better World Books, a book is donated through hundreds of nonprofit organizations, specifically Books for Africa and Feed the Children. They also fund literacy around the world. Better World Books partners with nonprofits passionate about literacy to provide economic, social, and political freedom. These groups receive funding from every book they sell. They also focus on sustainability. Better World Books commits that they never ever throw away a book. They reuse or recycle books as well as materials used by libraries such as shelving. Better World Books also provides the consumer with the choice to ship their order carbon balanced for just a little extra. So let's talk about the impact of Better World Books. Well, Better World Books has donated, funded, and supported many nonprofit organizations. They didn't give direct service, determining impact was not as simple. So as we look at the output and the outcome and the impact, we have to focus on the organizations that they supported and not their direct service. Their direct output was 26,502,000 books donated. They raised $28,430,000 for literacy. And they were able to collect over 320 million books that were reused or recycled. Now, when we look at the outcome, we could not look at what Better World Books published because they had nothing published on what their actual direct outcome was. So I was able to take a look at Books for Africa. And in reports that they cited by World Bank, they did 2 studies involving over 89 education projects across Africa. The findings confirmed that the cost effectiveness and importance of books, with the 2002 report indicating that in Africa, next to a good teacher, a good textbook is the most effective medium of instruction. So because of this study and the study done by Books for Africa, that showed the impact of the books in Tanzania, found a significant increase in student comprehension and fluency due to donated books. So we looked at these studies, and due to these studies, we showed that there was an outcome that was positive from the books that were donated. However, there was no direct report that showed how many kids received the books directly, how many kids were impacted, how many families or a community or even a city was impacted by the books that they actually donated. So it was very difficult to determine the outcome because we did not have sufficient supporting evidence. And that was the same issue we ran into with impact. So due to the lack of information available, there was no supporting evidence that the social efforts of Better World Books had an impact on literacy, even through the organizations that they supported. So to determine their impact, we can look at the studies that show the connection between improvement of literacy in the study of access to literacy by Susan B. Newman. Findings provide powerful support for the physical proximity of books and the psychological support of child care staff on children's early literacy development. So this study shows that there definitely in providing the books there was an impact, and that impact could be wonderful. However, I could find no studies or reports that showed that there was a tangible amount of people that received these books from the Better World Books. So we'll look at the analysis of the successes and the struggles that Better World Book had. Better World Books had developed a successful business based on a triple bottom line, which is an accounting framework with three parts: social, environmental, and financial. So that was a great thing that they've set up, and it's a great framework. They also promised 8 to 10% of its revenue, not the profits, to its literacy partners, which is also a fantastic success. Another thing that they did in partnership with Cause Capitalism, they created a mechanism to give stock options and board seats to the literacy partners, turning them into shareholders and giving them a voice in the company. And I would say that's a huge success, because then that gives their literacy partners a buy-in in what they're doing. Their struggles are that they had a really great startup. They had support and seed funding of one of the top universities. They started strong, but they also had growing pains. They had retail locations, and as of March 2019, they closed their last retail store. Better World Books doesn't have any product or service that provides direct social impact. And so because of that, they really don't have any evidence that their efforts are actually making a change, rather than simply just being a pat on the back. So my recommendation for Better World Books is to improve their social impact. The easiest way to improve their social impact would be outline smart and measurable goals. None of the goals outlined, none of their mission statements, their objectives, their strategies seem to have measurable goals for exactly how many people they want to impact, or how they want to impact literacy exactly. So I would recommend that they create a program or a product that directly impacts literacy or sustainability, because as of right now, they just simply support other organizations. If they had an actual program within their company, that one leg of their company was a literacy and education program, then we could really directly show that impact that they're having on those people. My recommendations for scaling the social impact would be to improve their marketing. Really, until I researched them, I had no idea who they are and what they do. And I have a huge love of books, and I have a large collection, and I seek out books often, and I would love to have known that there was this way that I could donate books that I no longer use, and be able to feel like it's actually making a difference. So I feel like that they really needed to improve their reach and to improve the marketing, to let people who know that there is an option like this, so that we can support it and help in building that literacy program. And that is the conclusion of my presentation on Bread or World Books.